You must have the right producer with the know-how of putting tracks together on a good recording. You must have the right producer with the know-how.
I can't describe the way I feel, the way I feel.
Come on. Tell us how that.
The way I feel, I just can't put it words.
Hey,
The
okay,
way I feel, it feels so good it hurts.
okay.
What you do, the way I feel, the way I feel
Okay.
like I'm in love. I still hear my mama say, "Child, every."
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is Monday, Music Monday, at www.poeticexpressions.com. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done that. And today we are talking about Jennifer Hudson. First of all, I will say I was planning on checking out her new CD because it's been a while since she's released a full album of new music. But with a lot of the social media tweets and Facebook posts that I saw about her CD, a lot of people were just ragging on it. They were just saying, oh, it's garbage, it's all over the place, yada, yada. So that just made me, even more intrigued to see what she was bringing to the table on this CD. So I will say, while I don't totally agree with some of the comments that were made, negative comments at least, I can definitely see where they were coming from. Basically, the CD is 10 tracks, and the whole vibe of it, I think where she went wrong here is that they tried to make her into this pop artist, and it sounds a little forced. Jennifer Hudson, to me, is one of those artists where she's just a ballad singer. That's her. And I think, in a sense, she should really stick to that. The last song on here is called Moan, and it's the only ballad really on the whole CD, but it's one of the best songs on here, and ironically, a song that she produced and wrote. So another thing there, I think they maybe should have let her do a little bit more producing and writing. It doesn't seem like she had a very hands-on approach to this CD, and I think if she would have, it may have been a more enjoyable listen to the masses, or for a lot of people just anticipating a different sound, especially from her being gone for so long. But this is more of a, I would say, almost like a party CD, really. A lot of up-tempo tracks. She's got some good producers on here. I don't think she's lacking on that front. She's got Jerry Wonder, Duplessis, and Pharrell produced a few tracks. Timbaland produced the song Walk It Out, which actually released a few months ago before the CD even came out. That's one of my favorite songs on there. And then the lead single, I Can't Describe the Way I Feel, the one with T.I. It's actually probably, I won't say necessarily my favorite song, but it's one of the best ones on here. And I think the reason why that single didn't really take off the way it should have, in my opinion, is because for those of you, the millions of people that have Beyonce's latest CD, it sounds a lot like her single Blow. And as it should, because Pharrell produced that song as well. And that song has kind of an 80s vibe to it, and so does the song that Pharrell produced for Jennifer Hudson, Just Can't Describe the Way I Feel, as well as a lot of the songs on this CD really have an 80s, almost really dated kind of sound, and some of them even kind of borderline on a, karaoke type sound that I don't think that she was necessarily going for. Maybe she was, but, hey, I don't know. There's a lot of guest features on here too, especially considering the number of tracks on the album. She has R. Kelly on here. I won't lie, I was very disappointed with that collaboration. I mean, just the lyrics, the production, everything, the way she was repeating certain parts of the chorus, I just didn't like it. And I just was thinking that an artist of R. Kelly's caliber, and then her as well with her, great voice, them meshing together, I thought that would have been a great, just, no-brainer collaboration. But that one kind of fell short to me. The first track on here is called Dangerous. That one's okay. Nothing to write home about. She has Iggy Azalea on here on a song called He Ain't Going Nowhere. That song is okay. That one was produced by Pharrell. I will say the Pharrell tracks are definitely some of the better ones on the album. Then the song called I Still Love You. That sounds very karaoke-ish, I guess you could say. I'm picturing slot machines, casinos. Yeah, not a good look. Just that type of girl. That song is pretty good. Again, but it has a throwback kind of feel to it, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not bashing her wanting to pay homage, or I don't know if that's what she was doing, but her wanting to reach back and pull some of the old school sounding music. Ironically, she has a song on here called Bring Back the Music, where she's basically talking about how music has lost its feeling, and the whole vibe of music has changed now and it's so commercial, which I definitely agree with. But it's funny that that's the kind of song she's singing on her CD, when a lot of these songs on here are actually doing just that. In my opinion, they're catering to more of a pop audience, which again, I don't think that that's necessarily Jennifer Hudson's niche. That's just my idea. But that's one of the best songs on there, though. I will say that Bring Back the Music is really nice. Say It, that song's nothing really to write home about. But I will say, overall, I think that she did deliver a good album. Of course, I wasn't anywhere around in the studio when this happened, but sometimes I think the downfall when artists takes long breaks, and I know she had a lot of personal things going on, but sometimes you second guess yourself, and then you're trying out new tracks and things that you may not think are good, or other people in your ear telling you it's good. So, who knows what the initial direction of the CD was, but I think that the downfall of it and the reason why people are making some of the negative comments they are is just because sometimes too much time is not good. And like the old saying goes, study long, study wrong. So I think that's a classic example of what happened here on this CD. Even though it's worth the listen, worth the buy, I won't say that. It's a good CD, like I said, and I'll say about probably 6 of the tracks on here are really good. I would say that I would, definitely keep on my iPod. But that's my thoughts on it. Definitely curious to see what you all think about her new CD, JHUD. It's in stores now. And also another artist, I was prompted to review this person again through social media. On the flip side, everybody kept saying, oh, this CD is so hot and, you got to check it out. I never even heard of this guy, Luke James. I'm sure most of you all have. You're probably wondering, how is it you haven't heard of Luke James? I know. I try to stay abreast on what's going on in music, but I honestly had never heard of him before. But when I listened to his CD, I realized I had heard a couple of his tracks before, but just didn't know that's who it was. So make sure to check out my written review on him, and it's called Luke James, Believe the Hype. So that gives you a taste of what I think of his debut CD, Luke James. Thanks everyone for tuning in this week to Poetic Expressions Music Monday, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Don't